Did you know that after the age of 60, the brain's memory center, the hippocampus, shrinks by about 1% each year? That means little by little names slip away, directions blur, and sometimes even familiar faces seem unfamiliar. But what if you could slow that down naturally? In Japan, it's not uncommon to see 90-year-olds riding bikes, cooking full meals, or tending to their gardens with clear minds and steady hands. Their secret: it's not expensive supplements, it's their daily food. Today we'll explore 10 incredibly affordable brain-boosting foods inspired by the traditional Japanese diet that can help keep your mind sharp no matter your age. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching this from, and what time is it for you right now? Please let me know in the comments below. I truly look forward to reading them. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. Why Japanese elders stay sharp. In the quiet morning streets of Kyoto or Okinawa, it's not unusual to see a silver-haired elder tending to their small garden, preparing breakfast from scratch, or bicycling through the neighborhood with a soft smile on their face. These are people in their 80s, even 90s, yet they move with clarity, speak with purpose, and remember the little things that make life meaningful. How do they do it? A big part of the answer lies not in high-tech medicine or rare supplements, but in food. In Japan, food is not just sustenance, it is medicine, it is memory, it is mindfulness. From an early age, children are taught the philosophy of shokuiku, the belief that learning how to eat is just as important as learning how to read or write. Compare that to the modern Western diet, where fast food, excess sugar, and processed meals often dominate the table. The result: rising rates of memory, decline, inflammation, and cognitive disorders. But the Japanese way is different. Meals are built with intention, small portions, bright colors balance between sweet, salty, sour, and umami. And most importantly, foods that are deeply nourishing to the brain and body. You don't need to move to Japan or completely change your life to benefit from this wisdom. You can start with small steps by choosing the kinds of foods that keep your brain energized, resilient, and focused. And that's exactly what we'll explore in the next part of this video. 10 powerful brain-friendly foods inspired by the Japanese diet that are affordable, easy to find, and backed by science. These are not exotic or expensive. They're simple, everyday ingredients with extraordinary benefits. Let's begin with a fruit that's small in size but mighty for your mind. Blueberries. Small fruit. Big brain benefits. There's something almost poetic about how the Japanese begin their mornings. A bowl of miso soup, a cup of green tea, and sometimes a small dish of seasonal fruits. Among these, one berry stands out not only for its taste, but for its incredible power: the blueberry. Blueberries are often called the brain berry, and for good reason. These tiny blue jewels are packed with antioxidants, especially a group called anthocyanins, which give blueberries their deep color and their brain-protecting magic. You see, as we age, our brains are constantly under attack by oxidative stress, a kind of slow-burning inflammation that damages brain cells and accelerates memory loss. But the antioxidants in blueberries help neutralize that stress. They're like tiny shields protecting the most delicate parts of your mind. In fact, researchers have discovered something astonishing. In adults, the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory, emotions, and spatial awareness, loses about 1% of its volume every year. But in studies where older adults consumed blueberries regularly, this shrinkage not only slowed down, it's sometimes reversed. That's right, blueberries might not just protect your brain, they could actually help restore it. And the best part, you don't need a huge bowl of them. Just half a cup a day can make a difference. Frozen blueberries work just as well as fresh, and they're often more affordable. Now let's take inspiration from Japan. In many traditional Japanese meals, balance is key. So instead of making blueberries, the main event, think of them as a thoughtful addition, a quiet, powerful presence. You might enjoy them stirred into a bowl of plain yogurt for breakfast, or gently blended into a smoothie with spinach and banana. Or try something inspired by Japanese flavors, a spoonful of mashed red bean paste topped with a few blueberries and a sprinkle of toasted sesame seeds. It's simple, it's nourishing, and it's kind to your brain. There's even emerging evidence that the phytochemicals in blueberries support better communication between brain cells, improve blood flow to the brain, and may reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease. And perhaps most importantly, for many older adults, blueberries have been shown to improve short-term memory and delay mental aging by several years. So the next time you're walking through the grocery store and you see a pint of blueberries, think of them not just as a snack, but as a daily act of kindness to your future self. Green leafy vegetables, gentle giants of brain health. In a quiet corner of her garden in rural Japan, an 88-year-old woman bends gently at the waist, plucking fresh spinach from the soil. It's early morning, the air is crisp, and her hands move with practiced ease. This is not just a chore, it's a ritual of life, of nourishment, of memory. Green leafy vegetables are the unsung heroes of brain health. Spinach, kale, collards, escarole, arugula. These aren't just for salads, they're medicine for the mind. Science agrees. One landmark study followed older adults for several years and found that those who ate leafy greens daily had brains that functioned 11 years younger than their actual age. That's a full decade of sharper thinking, better memory, and clearer focus simply from what you put on your plate. The secret lies in nutrients like folate and vitamin K, both found in abundance in dark leafy greens. Folate helps reduce inflammation and supports healthy brain function. Vitamin K has been shown to slow cognitive decline. Together, they create a powerful defense against the fog of aging. And here's something many people don't know. The brain-loving nutrients in leafy greens are fat-soluble. That means your body absorbs them best when they're eaten with a healthy fat. In Japan, it's common to serve cooked greens with a drizzle of sesame oil or miso dressing. One popular side dish, goma-e, features lightly boiled spinach, tossed with ground sesame seeds and a touch of soy sauce. It's simple, deeply flavorful, and quietly brilliant for the brain. If you're cooking at home, try sautéing kale in olive oil with garlic. Or make a warm salad with arugula, roasted sweet potato, and a soft-boiled egg. Even just a handful of mixed greens added to a sandwich or smoothie can go a long way. Think of leafy greens as gentle giants. They don't demand attention, but they offer strength, stability, and clarity. And for many elders in Japan, these greens are part of nearly every meal, not out of obligation, but out of habit. A habit that has kept minds sharp well into their 80s, 90s, and beyond. Salmon, the brain's favorite fish. In a small seaside town in Hokkaido, Japan's northernmost island, a grandfather stands by his grill, gently turning a piece of salmon over the glowing coals. The aroma rises smoky, rich, comforting. It's a scene that plays out in many Japanese homes where fish is more than food. It's tradition, it's wellness, it's life. Among all fish, salmon stands out as one of the most powerful allies for your brain. What makes salmon so special? It's rich in omega-3 fatty acids, especially DHA, a type of fat that's essential for brain development, memory, and emotional health. Our brains are made up of nearly 60% fat, and omega-3s are some of the most important building blocks. But as we age, our levels of omega-3 decline. This can lead to increased inflammation in the brain, a silent force behind memory loss, mood changes, and cognitive decline. That's where salmon comes in. Its healthy fats act like a balm, calming the fires of inflammation and nourishing brain cells from the inside out. Studies have shown that people who eat fatty fish like salmon at least twice a week have slower brain aging and lower risks of Alzheimer's disease. Some research even suggests omega-3s can support mood regulation, help reduce symptoms of depression, and improve attention in older adults. Now, not all salmon is the same. If possible, choose wild-caught salmon. It contains more omega-3s than farmed varieties and often has a cleaner flavor. But if wild isn't available or affordable, don't worry. Even canned salmon, especially with bones, is a great source of brain-friendly fats and calcium. In Japan, one of the most beloved dishes is shiozake, a simple salted grilled salmon often served with rice and pickled vegetables. It's not fancy, but it's deeply satisfying. You can recreate something similar at home by seasoning salmon with a touch of sea salt, lemon, and roasting it in the oven. Or try salmon with a cilantro miso pesto for a fusion of flavor and tradition, bright, herby, and rich in umami. If you're not a fan of fish, consider starting small. Mix flaked cooked salmon into a salad, a rice bowl, or even a sandwich. The key is consistency, not perfection. Eating salmon regularly is like investing in the future of your mind. It helps keep your thoughts clear, your mood steady, and your memories intact. And just like in Japan, it can be a moment of connection, sharing a meal, savoring each bite, and nourishing not just the body but the soul. Beans, the brain's slow and steady fuel. In Japan, beans are more than just food. They're a symbol of good luck, health, and even celebration. From the sweet red bean paste in traditional desserts to the savory bite of soybeans in miso soup, beans are woven into the rhythm of daily life. But beyond tradition, beans are also one of the smartest foods you can eat for brain health. Your brain is a high-energy organ. It needs a steady supply of glucose, not the kind that comes from candy or soda, but the kind that comes slowly, gently from complex carbohydrates. That's where beans shine. They release glucose, gradually helping your brain stay focused and alert without the crashes that come from sugary snacks. Beans are also packed with B vitamins, especially folate, which supports brain cell repair and helps reduce brain shrinkage. Several studies have shown that older adults with higher levels of folate perform better on memory tests and have a lower risk of developing cognitive decline. But perhaps one of the most overlooked benefits of beans is how they feed your gut and, by extension, your brain. Inside your body lives a vast community of bacteria known as the microbiome. It might sound strange, but the health of your gut bacteria has a direct effect on your mood, memory, and mental clarity. Beans are rich in soluble fiber, which nourishes the good bacteria. A healthier gut means lower inflammation throughout the body, including in the brain. In Japanese cuisine, soybeans are especially beloved. You'll find them in natto, a fermented soybean dish, edamame, lightly salted green soybeans, and of course in miso, a savory fermented paste used in soups and sauces. These forms of soy offer not just protein, but a symphony of brain protective compounds. But you don't need to eat soy to get the benefits. Chickpeas, black beans, lentils, and white beans are all excellent choices. In fact, in Okinawa, home to some of the longest-living people in the world, a traditional meal often includes a small bowl of simmered beans flavored with a bit of seaweed and sesame. Try adding beans to your lunch or dinner. A simple chickpea salad with lemon and olive oil, a warm lentil stew, or even a creamy white bean dip with a touch of garlic and herbs. Beans don't shout. They don't need to. They work quietly, steadily, offering your brain a stable foundation of energy, nourishment, and healing. Dark chocolate, a sweet gift for your brain. Imagine this. It's a chilly afternoon in northern Japan. A grandmother sits by the window with a warm cup of tea and a small square of dark chocolate. She lets it melt slowly on her tongue, savoring not just the taste, but the moment. What she may not realize is that she's also feeding her brain. Dark chocolate isn't just a pleasure, it's a powerful food for the mind. The secret lies in its high content of flavonoids, natural compounds that boost blood flow to the brain. Better blood flow means more oxygen and nutrients for your brain cells, helping you stay sharp, focused, and emotionally balanced. Studies have shown that older adults who consume dark chocolate regularly tend to perform better on memory and problem-solving tasks. Some researchers even believe that chocolate can enhance neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections and repair itself, and it works fast. Just 30 minutes after eating dark chocolate, your brain becomes more alert and your mood often improves. That's because chocolate helps increase levels of nitric oxide in your blood, which relaxes your blood vessels and reduces inflammation not just in your heart, but in your brain too. Now, not all chocolate is created equal. For brain benefits, look for dark chocolate with at least 70% cocoa content and avoid those loaded with sugar. Even better, use unsweetened cocoa powder in cooking. It's rich in flavonoids and free of added sugars. In Japan, while dark chocolate isn't traditionally part of the diet, it has found a quiet place in modern tea culture. A small piece of dark chocolate served with matcha green tea is a beautiful balance, bitter, earthy, and deeply nourishing. You can try this yourself at home. Stir a spoonful of pure cocoa powder into warm almond milk with a pinch of cinnamon for a brain-boosting morning drink. Or melt a bit of dark chocolate and drizzle it over sliced bananas or strawberries. Dark chocolate is a reminder that brain health doesn't have to feel like hard work. Sometimes it's as simple as enjoying something you love with mindfulness, gratitude, and a little intention. Coffee and tea. Gentle energy for a clear mind. Early in the morning, in a quiet Tokyo apartment, a kettle begins to whistle. A man in his 70s carefully pours hot water over freshly ground coffee, savoring the aroma. A few blocks away, a woman prepares her daily bowl of matcha, whisking the fine green powder into a frothy, calming drink. Though different in flavor, these two rituals share something powerful, both coffee and tea. Support brain health in surprisingly gentle ways. Caffeine is often misunderstood. When used wisely, it's not just a stimulant, it's a brain enhancer. It increases alertness, supports short-term memory, and even helps you process information more quickly. But caffeine also works best when paired with other compounds, and that's where coffee and tea truly shine. Coffee contains antioxidants that help protect brain cells from damage. Recent studies have even linked regular coffee drinking to a lower risk of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. The key is moderation. About 1 or 2 cups per day is enough to support your brain without overstimulating your system. Tea, especially green tea, offers something uniquely Japanese: theanine, a natural amino acid that calms the mind while sharpening focus. It's the reason monks in Japan have used matcha for centuries during meditation. Theanine increases dopamine levels and creates a sense of relaxed concentration, like turning on a light in a quiet room. Together, the combination of caffeine and theanine in tea helps you stay awake but never jittery. It's the kind of alertness that feels smooth, balanced, and kind. If you enjoy coffee, try having it with a protein-rich breakfast to avoid energy crashes. Choose high-quality, freshly brewed coffee without too much sugar or artificial creamers. If you prefer tea, green tea, matcha, and oolong are all wonderful choices. Try sipping tea slowly, mid-morning or early afternoon, giving yourself a few minutes to breathe and reset. And here's something beautiful in Japan. Tea time is often more than a drink. It's a moment of reflection, of calm, a simple pause in a busy day. When you drink tea or coffee with this kind of presence, you're not just feeding your brain, you're caring for your spirit too. So tomorrow morning, instead of rushing, take a moment, sit down, sip slowly. Let your brain wake up with gratitude and peace. Turmeric, the golden healer of the mind. In a small kitchen in Osaka, a pot of vegetable soup simmers gently on the stove. A grandmother adds a pinch of golden turmeric, just enough to warm the broth with color and comfort. She doesn't speak of antioxidants or curcumin, but in that small act she's giving her brain something powerful. Turmeric has been used for centuries in Asian cooking, not only for flavor, but for healing. Its active compound curcumin has strong anti-inflammatory properties. And when it comes to brain health, inflammation is a quiet enemy. It contributes to memory loss, mood swings, and even degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. What makes turmeric so special is that curcumin may help clear away the harmful plaques in the brain that are linked to cognitive decline. It also boosts levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor BDNF, a protein that helps your brain grow new cells and stay resilient. But here's an important detail: your body absorbs curcumin best when it's combined with a little fat and a touch of black pepper. In Japan, turmeric isn't traditionally used as much as in Indian cuisine, but it has found its way into modern wellness routines, especially in soups and teas. You can try adding a pinch to miso soup, blend it into a smoothie, or stir it into warm milk with a dash of pepper for a calming evening drink. Skip the supplements, use the spice. That's where the magic lives. Tomatoes, red gold for a sharper mind. In the countryside of Japan, ripe tomatoes grow in neat rows, basking in the summer sun. A farmer gently picks one still warm and hands it to her grandson. "This one," she says with a smile, "is good for your brain." She's more right than she knows. Tomatoes are rich in lycopene, a bright red antioxidant that helps protect brain cells from oxidative stress. As we age, oxidative stress builds up, slowly damaging the delicate tissues of the brain. But lycopene works like a shield, slowing that damage and supporting long-term cognitive health. Research has linked higher lycopene intake with better memory and a lower risk of conditions like Alzheimer's. And unlike many nutrients, lycopene becomes more powerful when tomatoes are cooked. That's why soups, stews, and sauces made with tomatoes can be so healing. In traditional Japanese homes, tomato miso soup has become a modern comfort food, blending the rich umami of fermented miso with the tangy warmth of tomato. You can also try a simple sofrito-inspired stir-fry tomatoes simmered gently with garlic, olive oil, and a touch of ginger. It's quick, flavorful, and perfect with a bowl of rice or tofu. Even tomato juice in the morning with a splash of lemon can become a refreshing ritual to support your brain. So don't overlook the humble tomato. It may be common, but it's quietly working behind the scenes to keep your memory sharp and your mind clear. Pistachios, small nuts with big brain benefits. In a cozy living room in Yokohama, a grandfather opens a small bowl of lightly salted pistachios. He enjoys them slowly, one at a time, while sipping his evening tea. It's a simple ritual, but one that offers his brain a surprising kind of protection. Pistachios may be small, but they're packed with nutrients that support brain health. They're especially rich in vitamin B6, which helps your brain produce neurotransmitters. Those little messengers that affect mood, memory, and focus. They also contain healthy fats, antioxidants, and a generous dose of vitamin E, another brain protective nutrient that reduces inflammation and supports long-term cognitive function. Some studies suggest that the oils in pistachios may help preserve brain tissue, especially in the frontal lobe, which is responsible for planning decision-making and personality. In Japan, nuts like pistachios aren't traditionally a big part of the diet, but in recent years they've become a quiet favorite among older adults looking for nourishing snacks. And because they're so satisfying, just a small handful is enough. Try enjoying them plain, or sprinkle chopped pistachios over yogurt or oatmeal. You can also blend them into a creamy sauce with olive oil and herbs, perfect for steamed vegetables or grilled fish. What matters most is consistency. One small habit repeated with care can bring powerful change over time. As we close this list, remember these 10 foods are not a diet, they're a gentle invitation. A way to care for your brain, your body, and your sense of self, one bite at a time. So there you have it. 10 simple, nourishing foods that have the power to protect your brain, sharpen your memory, and bring a sense of calm and clarity to your everyday life. None of them are expensive, none are complicated, and yet each one carries wisdom passed down through generations. In Japan, growing older isn't seen as a decline, it's a deepening, a time to slow down, to savor, and to reconnect with what truly matters. These foods are not just ingredients, they are tools of healing, of tradition, of hope. You don't need to eat all 10 at once. Maybe this week you try blueberries with breakfast, or a cup of green tea in the afternoon. Just start small, start kind. And before we part ways, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these superfoods will you try first this week? Share it in the comments. I read every one of them. And remember, the health information on this channel is not medical advice and may not apply to everyone. If you're concerned about your health, please consult with your doctor or local healthcare provider. If you believe you may be having a medical emergency, please call your doctor or emergency services immediately. Until next time, take care of your body, your brain, and your beautiful life.